Hello, my name is Tiara Minsinger, and this is my Weebly portfolio for my master's degree in education. This is my introduction page, and I'm going to move on to my Facilitator of Learning page of my portfolio. The first standard under Facilitator of Learning is to treat students equitably and respect individual difference and adjust practices accordingly. My first piece of evidence to support this standard is a spelling test that I created. This spelling test uses QR codes that my students listen to that has the word and the sentence so my students can repeat at their leisure. The lists are also differentiated for students' needs. The next piece of evidence that I've included is a reading workshop chart that my students utilize during our 90-minute reading block. Students are given various tasks for the weeks that they complete at their own pace and check off and provide the assessment scores as needed. This keeps my students accountable throughout the week. I've also included a photo collage of my students to showcase the various learning spaces and collaborative learning experience that I have in my classroom. The next standard says understand human development, and I've included 3 case studies that I've conducted throughout my program, and these case studies show work with various students with economically disadvantaged, different cultures and races that have given me some in-depth information about the learning environment of my students, and that has impacted my teaching. So I've included those 3 case studies here. The next standard is to create a safe and well-managed, supportive, inclusive, and challenging learning environment. To showcase this, I've included my open house flipbook. This flipbook is given at the beginning of the year for my parents, and it provides a supply list. It also has a homework policy, my behavior management policy, a daily schedule, birthday information, contact information. I also put a magnet on the back of this flipbook so that my parents can have it on the refrigerator so that it's easily accessible. The next piece of evidence is my parent resource site that I have on my website. This page includes various videos and explanation of vocabulary for the current standards, and it's updated frequently for the given standards that I have. I provide video tutorials as well as practice worksheets and answer keys for the worksheets. The next piece of evidence that I've included is my animal habitat extension activity. This activity extended after the lesson, after our unit on animal habitats. Students were tasked with creating their own animal with adaptations to survive in a specific habitat in Georgia. Students were able to be creative while following the guidelines dictated in the rubric. The next standard says to use multiple methods, technology, resources, and organizational arrangements to meet the goals. I've included a place value assessment that I provide for my students. It's a unique assessment where I've created that when students take the assessment, if they get the answer incorrect, they are prompted to a video tutorial over the material that can help them with answering the question before proceeding to the next. It offers a way to differentiate the lesson and the assessment. The next piece of evidence I've included is a blend space that I created on a science unit. This offers differentiation during instruction. Students can choose from videos, interactive activities, vocabulary sorts to learn the given material that I've provided. Students are tasked with 3 to 4 different activities over the course of the unit. I've also included a reflection for a technology lesson that I give, and just to show that I do reflect after I do all of my lessons. The next standard is to monitor student progress with formal and informal evaluations. I've included a Think Dot assignment where my students did it in math. Students roll the dice and pick the activity according to the number on the dice. I've included a 3-2-1 discovery, another lesson I created where students choose 3 animals, 2 plants, and 1 habitat, and have to choose and decide which animals and plants do not belong in the given habitat. Students have the choice of presenting through various ways. I also included a raft assignment where students take the role of various people in the unit, and they have a specific audience and topic. Students are given a format to illustrate their information. All 3 assignments come along with a rubric that explains my expectations for the assignment. The next section of my Facilitator of Learning is my accountable to multiple audiences. Again, I've included my reading workshop chart that's given on a daily basis for my students to hold them accountable. I've also included a weekly report that I send home on Friday for my parents just to give them an overview of student success. It also includes a rating scale. I've also included a student snapshot that's given during our parents' conferences that includes all of the curriculum and assessment scores, as well as common assessment data. This information is also sent to my administration, which holds me accountable, as well as my students.